this locks on, then we'll be live. Thank you very much to my brother for reminding me. This should be having an alert telling you that it's being streamed to a third party, just in case you've got international organizations that are looking for you. All right, let's close that. Let's do this. In fact, let's just test out some of the things and see how it records.
Welcome to Unity 2B3, the world's first empowerment marketplace, where dreams meet opportunities and potential is limitless. In a world yearning for connection and strength, Unity 2B.
I didn't fail, I fell. And as long as I get up, I win.
The man who never fell has no glory. The man who fell and got back up, that's where his glory is.
Failure is part of the formula for success. So,
okay, enough of that. Let's get into it. No problem. So hopefully we'll get everything, all the right sounds coming out, etc. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we shall see. All right, but we'll do the test and we'll see how it goes. But like I said to you, right now we're looking at GBP USD, and we can see that this market here, we had a lovely entry based upon one of our playbooks of the market tapping into the first 15-minute imbalance. We didn't see on a 1 minute time frame, we didn't see a clean break as we like to see it, as in a manipulation W pattern. All right, but what we did see on a 5 minute time frame, as it wicked out of that area, was a lovely bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, which could have allowed us to take this trade here, okay, that being our entry, with our stop below our bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. Oh, there you go. And that would have meant that we would have already this morning very quickly, in about 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, would have got a 1 to 4 trade all the way up into this level here. Now currently the market has taken Asian session highs from here, and it's just taken a New York session high that's very high in that premium. Yeah, very, very high in that premium. This is why I'm thinking to myself, of the news that's coming out today, and the news we're talking about is information, okay, etc., etc., etc. Now, that may be the catalyst to get this market getting bearish, okay, because in my opinion, should be bearish. Should be bearish already, should be coming down, should be going crazy. All right. Let me check something real quick. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, no problem. So yeah, we can see here the market is consolidating or accumulating. You might not be able to see it obviously on this 5 minute time frame, but watch when I drop to my 1 minute. It's very clearly going sideways. I've got my alerts either side of this consolidation. You can see here, alert 1, alert 2, just sitting here and waiting to see what's going to happen out of this range. What we're also going to do is we're also going to look at a correlating pair, which in this instance is Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD and GBP USD are cousins. Yeah, they had some falling out, separation with Brexit, but ultimately they still are correlated pairs, and they move very, very similarly, as in they move the same. Now, what we're looking for, you're thinking, if they move the same, so, you know, what's the point? Well, the point is that, and I'm going to change this because ultimately my time frames ain't synced, but I'm going to sync them by coming down in here, syncing my intervals, okay? Is ultimately, if they start doing something different in regards to one of the markets are going up and one of the markets are going down, that is something that we call divergence. All right, meaning that there's been I gave that great analogy about Jivan and his brother. It means that one of them are doing something different and potentially showing their hand. Okay, so we're looking at potential data points and trying to see whether there's going to be any small divergence happening in regards to in one market we're seeing the market going up, in one market we're seeing it going down. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Like say for example, right now in a very, very small time frame, we can see this happening. Let me make it a different color. So strange because I'm hearing this echo back in my ears. I will definitely sort this out. We're getting closer. Once you guys can't hear it, that's fine. And seeing this. All right. Now, that is underneath price and is bullish divergence. But that bullish divergence might just do this. Push this market up here. Give us that manipulation before this market starts doing this. All right, because the way I'm looking at this is that I'd like to be in here for the sell. And the question is why? And I'm going to show you. In our GBP USD, if I zoom all the way out, we can see that this market is very, 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 because I would tell you to say good morning, but the nonsense you was talking last time, I'm scared. Just shut the door and get out of here, please. All right, that's my son. So we're very, very high up on this premium. Yeah, as in look at this pink line here in regards to data points. And I'd even go as far as saying, if I was to be a stickler for how I've drawn this line, if I was to touch all those data points properly, the market is even ever so slightly broken outside of the trend, but not enough to, remember this is just a line that we've drawn on the screen, and more importantly it's just a line that I've drawn on the screen that could be, you know, slightly off, right? But this is the energy the market's been coming down, and this is the last major swing low in my opinion over here, swing high in my opinion over here. Obviously we can see smaller structure. Let me use a different color in here. We can see how this market has wriggled down like this, making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and lower low. Yeah, ultimately, I don't want to see this current push violate this area here, but definitely not violate this area up here. Okay. So this market has been coming down, making this bearish push, and I'm just intrigued to see what price is doing right now, because I believe we're right in a premium, i.e. this bigger pink line. Okay. However, we have to understand that on a bigger picture, this market is also allowed to move in waves. All right. So what do I mean by that? I mean that this market has violated this structure. And it's allowed to come back up in here before going. All right. So therefore, I have to read and react to what the market does. Now, at the moment, because when we come over here, at the moment, the market got down to this bigger swing structure and didn't want no drama. But it doesn't mean that it's not kicking back in here to give another push to actually try and get through this level. So we have to be quite sensitive. Obviously, I did say to you that there's a lot of things also happening in the world. You know, we've had Mr. Trump come in power, etc., etc., and he's shaking things up on a daily basis. All right, with his orders and things that he wants to put in place, etc. We don't need to read and react to see what this market does. And at the moment, this market's come all the way down here, making a lower low, made a lower high. But at the moment, we've made a higher low on this smaller time frame. Are we going to now make a higher high? That's the question. Yeah, because the market pushed down here very, very aggressively. Boom, 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 boom. That was it gapping down, and no one was expecting this market to come and violate this area. We thought maybe it was going to come and close the gap and continue with the program, but it's not done that, and it started to push up and violate this area where there was huge supply that came into the market to push down the price. And the question is, are we going to violate this area? If we do violate this area, we are going to be making a higher high, and the potential of the market is essentially it doing this, trying to get up to touch that yellow line. okay, which could coincide with this kind of area of liquidity over here, of this market deciding wants to break up here, and on a bigger picture, meaning that we're making a retracement of this big pink push, right? So you can see this big pink push. If this market starts to break up here, it means it's making a retracement of this bearish energy. So this was the impulse coming down here on a bigger picture. Boom, 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 boom. And then the retracement could come up in here, where we like to identify and put a landmark on this point of interest of about 50% of the impulse, which is approximately here, which I've just made green, I've just made thick, I've just made a solid line so we can get rid of this. That is a point of interest of the market getting back to, around that area, which what a coinky dink is right by this last little yellow swing high. Okay, so maybe the market wants to come in here, take all the liquidity from above these little blue dot highs, and then continue its bearish energy. It's very possible. And the reason why I'm thinking like that is because we wasn't expecting this market, after coming and closing this imbalance. If I drop my time frame down so you can see it, closing this big gap and imbalance, we wasn't expecting it to push past that level. We was expecting to maybe close the imbalance and then, or maybe a percentage of the imbalance, and then keep coming down. It's shown it doesn't want to do that. And ultimately right now we're sitting kind of in the middle of this yellow range. Okay, so it's a little bit, there's a little bit of complexity to it. On a smaller time frame, zooming all the way down, like I said this morning, we saw a beautiful entry as the market tapped into the first 15-minute imbalance closest to it, which was down here. Look at it on the 15-minute if you don't know, if you can't see it. All right. Tapped into this first 15-minute imbalance sitting in here. I made a little yellow box. It tapped in beautifully. On a smaller 1 minute time frame, didn't give us a very clean break to get a very tiny entry, but it did on a 5 minute time frame give us a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, which is this. Yeah, meaning the body of that green candle completely swallowed the previous bearish candle, and that bearish candle has some wick rejection out of the area of interest. That ticks all of those boxes. Tapped in, wick rejected, next candle, big bullish candle, swallowed the previous candle here. That is a bullish candlestick pattern and confluence to get in for the buy, and would have allowed us to get in here to here, making it a 1 to 4 trade. All right, something that we've been back testing all this week, a bit of confluence that I've given you, a flex, a playbook that I've given you that you can use in your trading to your advantage. Okay, and it's that ability to be able to understand how this market comes and taps into the closest 15-minute imbalance in line with market structure. Yeah, what do I mean by that? I mean in line with what the market has been doing, and this market has been bullish. Okay, and then we've seen wick rejection, bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, and then market's pushed out here. At the moment, the market is going sideways, consolidating, or better still for our purposes at the moment, accumulating. The reason why I use the word accumulating, because it's accumulating orders either side of the consolidation. Okay, meaning that there are stop losses either side of this range. That's why the market's moving, because some people are buying, some people are selling, some people are buying within this range. Now, what we aim to see outside of the accumulation is manipulation. All right, meaning that it pretending like it wants to do this, and then going, only joking, and doing this and distributing in an area, in a direction, sorry. Yeah, and that would be it, doing it bullishly, and bearishly would be the opposing. We've seen some sort of manipulation, only for the market to distribute in another direction. Okay. This is why I have alerts set up either side of this current accumulation. Now, I would like it to do the red option. I do not want this market necessarily pushing up to this line over here, but if it does, it means what I've been saying, that the market potentially is in a retracement phase of this overall bearish push. Look, yeah, this bearish push broke major swing structure, and now it might want to, just like every other time frame that moves in waves, yeah, it may be now wanting to make its retracement phase of this bearish impulse. Does that make sense? Or does somebody want me to run through that again?
I'm with you. I'm following, bro.
Fantastic. Anybody else that's not?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
All right, great. I still got this speaker view, and I don't want it to work. I don't want it to happen on that. I don't want you to talk for it to change the screen. In general, let's see. It's one of these settings. It's one of these settings that I can't see right now, which is great. I'll find it in a minute. Couple little tweaks that always.
Morning. You okay?
Morning.
Hey, morning, Nala.
Jay, turn off your mic.
No problem.
I think I've just changed the setting. Shouldn't do that now. Someone speak. Say something.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, no, well, that's not what I wanted to do. When G Van spoke, did the whole scene change?
Yeah.
Little avatar.
Yeah, it just comes up with people's initials.
I'm going to change that, and I don't want that happening. In the meantime, don't speak. Yeah, just trying to see. That's just the one setting. I thought it would just be fine if I just pinned it, but I don't think I just must be pinning it for my own. Let me just quickly jump into this. Let's get it off your screen so you don't have to see it. Move it to another screen. Let's get back to looking at these charts. All right, so I hope you understand in regards to what the concerns are. So yesterday, our analysis played out for a time period, okay, because we were saying that we wanted it to get bearish, and I caught a lovely trade on a bearish sell. But then the market got to the same session's lows, as in it got to an area of structure, which I'm going to show you in a minute, as soon as I can sort out this screen. I'm going to try and multitask. Yep, like so. Close it. So yesterday's trade, when we spoke about, that bearish potential sell, Jason asked at the start of the session, how did I get into it? Where did I get into it? It was here. Okay, this was yesterday's session over here. London woke up. It was this movement down here after liquidity was taken properly over here, and there was a lovely manipulation M pattern. We can see it on a 5-minute time frame, as well as there's a 1-minute entry. So the 5 minutes, the market came up here, it took liquidity, but it didn't give me what I wanted, so I wasn't in the trade. And then we could see here, lovely manipulation M pattern calm, and the market tapping in right here. Okay, right there, giving that trade all the way down in here. And I thought it was going to continue going. I was anticipating it to retrace, but I thought it was going to keep going. And it pushing all the way up here was a surprise and stopped me out somewhere down here where I had in fact, I actually think I closed myself out of the trade because I was happy with 1600. All right, let's have a look on a smaller time frame and see if there's a smaller entry in there on a 1-minute time frame. All right, just to show you where that potential entry was, because we was watching that all morning waiting for it to break, and it didn't break the way we wanted it to within the session. But I think just as the session ended, it did. Let's have a look in 1 minute. 2 minutes. I think if I remember correctly, no, it must have been the same area. All right, around about here is the entry. So market came and tapped back in. And then, let me see on the tap in. Yeah, all right, that was the entry. Okay, that was the entry. And I had a couple positions and I just thought this market was going to keep running. I was in shock when we started to break structure bullishly in the same London session all the way up into this level here. And then we just kept going. And I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't get in again for the buy. I wish I did, because the market just kept going and going and going yesterday. All right. So this is the questions that we're asking ourselves right now at this moment. Is the market happy with taking Asian session liquidity and have a look all the way back here, taking New York session liquidity, PM over here and over here. All right, previous liquidity sitting all the way up in here. Is the market happy with taking that liquidity, or are we going to push all the way up and take this swing high all the way above where this, let me put another one over here. I don't want to see any of those two solid lines violated, to be fair. Yeah, I do feel that, let me just take off all the drawings. Yeah, we may take this next red one here. I really don't want to see it coming and closing above this level over here. If that is the case, I'm going to be changing my opinion, and we're definitely going to be in this retracement phase of the bigger impulse. But I'd prefer, it's a lot easier if the market just says, you know what, we want to maintain this structure. Have a look. The structure I'm talking about is maintain, you see the yellow dots? Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Just wants to make a lovely lower high in here. Okay, that would be great, especially as we're kind of at the 50% of this impulse from here to here. Can you see we're kind of at the 50, between the 50% and the 618? Look where I'm pulling this, and look at that green line that's moving up, that green dotted line. We're approximately at the 50 to 618 of that area. It'd be nice if it just turned around and kept with the program of that pink range. But it might decide, Jay, I want to make a big old retracement back up into here, which is, I've got a line in here, which is essentially 50% of the bigger impulse before turning around. And that is the question that hopefully will be answered today. We do have PMI, we do have lots of red folder news, we do have a lot of Euro news also today. Okay, so therefore, that's what we're looking at. Let me zoom all the way down, have a last little glimpse at it. Well, to be fair, I don't need to look at it because I've got my alerts. Let's go and look at another pair and see what I'm going. I'm going to look at Euro, as in the DAX, and we are going to zoom all the way out and wipe our charts. All right. Hopefully you guys are getting a nice experience. It should be nice and clear on your stream. If it's not clear or there's any issues with it, please do let me know as we go through this little teething process, as we do all the, you know, production, you get me, the production value. So this is DAX, and there's lots of Euro news today. Have a look. Actually, Euro news landing in 7 minutes, which is PMI. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow Brother Alan to tell us about PMI whilst I start marking up that chart, so you can watch my screen and listen to Brother if you can tell us anything about PMI and how it affects markets. That'd be much appreciated if you can. Let me see if he's there. I don't know, maybe he's in the office, or I don't know whether he can speak or not. I'm guessing not. No problem. All right, so PMI does move the markets, okay? And we're gonna, let me quickly mark. All right, so we get a little push down on GU. Let's have a quick glimpse and see what's happening with our GU. If it rings again, I'll go and see what's going on. But I'll be keeping an eye on it on my other chart, on my MT5, so we don't miss too much action. Well, it's set off my alert at the bottom of the range. okay, which might mean the market wants to, as I said, push up first, must manipulate, do a little bit of a distribution higher first, and then make another, larger manipulation pattern to actually come down. All right, like I said, we have got a lot of news later on in USD. And obviously GBP and Euro are still also going to be affected potentially by Euro news. Okay, so we could look to DAX. We could just keep an eye on the Euro. Let's have a look at the Euro real quick and see what it's doing. All right, let's see what it's doing. Let's drop our time frame all the way down to the smaller time frame. And let's make this GBP USD just so we can see the correlating pairs back to back, and then we'll go and look at DAX and the NAS today also. And anything else anyone wants us to look at, just put your bid in from now. If there's a particular pair anyone wants us to look at, so let's have a look at, this is EU on one side, and we've got GU with all of my scribbles on the other side. Okay. And we can see well, they're both doing the same stuff. All right, we're not getting any divergence yet on the 5 minutes time frame. They're both moving quite similarly, and we did get a wick down here, boom, which might have been a manipulation out of that consolidation. Have a look. Yeah, if I put on all my drawings again, you'll see that little orange box here that the market was in. We've just had a wick outside of that, which could be our manipulation. I wanted to leave these on here so we can remember that I drew them. I'm going to just move them out of the way. So this could be our quick manipulation. Nam, 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 nam. Grabbing all of these stop losses, etc. Yeah. Stopping people out that were bullish. Yeah. Nam, 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 nam. And then we may see a distribution higher. Now that higher distribution could go and take this liquidity over here, this red line. All right, maybe. Well, we're going to watch it and see what's going on. I'm going to put that alert that stopped ringing. I'm going to put it back like this. Add an alert, crossing down. And we're going to read and react to what this market does. All right, on a smaller time frame here, we cannot see any necessarily manipulation W's. Well, kind of in here. But I'm not necessarily interested in getting in this immediately for the buy. Might be to my detriment. They might just keep running bullishly. But let's have a look at Euro. Maybe it's a little bit cleaner on the Euro. There is a bit of a manipulation W that just happened here, but the issue is the Euro. It hasn't, it just tapped into an imbalance here. All right. My manipulation W's are powerful as and when they take liquidity. At the moment, the market's just tapped into the imbalance and a previous battlefield, which actually produced a previous manipulation W. It's tapped into that area there. Look, we could jump in the buy for this energy of this market pushing up to take these highs. It's just right now we're a little bit late to that program, and we've got to think to ourselves, how much potential does that trade have? If we can't see at least a 1 to 3, then it's no point. I'd prefer to just sit and wait to see what happens. All right. I prefer to sit and wait to see what happens, just on the basis that in GU, we have seen the manipulation and taking some energy here, but the news is hitting in, was it hit already? Let's check. 2 minutes. Let's see what happens in 2 minutes. Yeah. Let's see what type of reaction we have in this first bit of Euro news happening in 2 minutes. And then we've got more Euro news in 12. I actually think probably nothing would happen until 9 o'clock. That's what I believe. We've got some more red folder Euro news in 17 minutes at 9 o'clock. It just makes sense. The market's waiting for that to land as well. But let's see. I'd like to see it pushing up here and start making a manipulation M right now and making a manipulation M for 9 o'clock for us to get in for the sell. That'd make more sense. But Who knows? So I've got about a minute and a half, and I'm being patient. All right. Once again, like yesterday, I said patience was what we had to do, and there was an opportunity to get in for the sell. And again, we're going to be patient and see what this market does. Whilst we're being patient, I've got my alerts in here, which is watching it for me. They're my little AIs. I'm going to open another chart, make it just one screen, and we're going to look at something else. We're going to look at NAS. Yeah, we look at the NASDAQ. Pal. And my computer's moving a bit slow, but it's doing a lot at the moment. I've been asking a lot from it recently, and I still haven't defragged. Sorry there, Jay. I mean, Darren. Haven't defragged yet, but I will do. With your assistance, I'll defrag. So I'm going to delete everything off this NAS.
Is it working a bit better, Jay?
It is working a bit better, but I'm gonna defrag it because I haven't defragged it. But even from the little things that we did, it is working a little bit better. This morning, actually, you guys can do this with me. I haven't identified our outside candles for our pairs. Okay, I don't believe I think I started doing it. No, I didn't. All right. So look, we're gonna quickly have a look and see what if we can see from that a level of confluence in regards to our outside candles. So what do I mean by that? I mean that yesterday's candle closed outside the range of the previous candle, okay, which gives us a little bit of an insight of where the market may want to go. So when we go to our DAX here, we haven't got any outside candle. Yesterday's candle was some kind of doji situation or hammer situation here. Let's go to our EJ. I don't like EJ really. It's been trading within a range for some time. And once again, we've got no outside candle. Let's go to EU. EU did have an outside green candle. All right. Which kind of now makes me lean into thinking to myself about maybe the market is going to get into this retracement phase and push up bullishly. But we can see here was an outside green candle, meaning it closed outside of the range of the previous green candle. Okay, therefore we think to ourselves that there's a potential for the market to come down and tap into the imbalance, making some sort of wick, which it did. All right, and then potentially for the market to close as another green candle, where if it did it right now, it would mean that there'd be another outside green candle for the day. It's not going to do it for right now because the day still has many hours to play out. But maybe the market isn't done coming down and making more down wick, more wick to the bottom before making the outside candle. I don't know. Okay. But either way, I'm going to mark this one here as an outside candle. Let's go and look at GBP NZD. Nope. Yesterday's candle wasn't no outside candle. Let's look at our NAS. Now, remember, this is just one bit of confluence so that when I'm looking into these pairs, I can have a slight bias, or I can have a reason why I want to look into that particular pair, because I can't look at all things at once. So it's either we trade one thing, and if there's nothing going on with that one thing, then we've got nothing to trade, or we're able to identify where it looks interesting. Have a look. This gold had a big green candle outside the range of the previous daily candle. I'm on the daily, if you ain't noticed, and I've marked it as a green outside candle, meaning there's an opportunity for this market to come and close this imbalance, this little gap here for some down wick, and then push up. And if we zoom in and see that this little wick here took liquidity from the downside, well, maybe that's why we're up in space right now, or maybe we've missed the opportunity. All right, let's look at silver. Silver's the same. Okay, let me wipe everything off my silver charts, and you can see it more so in silver, that when this candle first opened up this morning, bearing in mind we understand that market candles open bottom left hand corner, it opened over here, yeah, right at the top of this, so the bottom of this green candle here. So there, and then we see the market come down and close that little bit of imbalance, making the wick at least 50% of that imbalance. And there may have been an opportunity here on a smaller time frame to get in for the buy to where the previous daily high, which we have now taken. All right, so I'm going to mark this one as green also. Let's go look at our SPX. No, let's go look at our US 30 on a daily time frame. This is what I do first. I didn't do it this morning because I was playing around with the sound. All right, but yeah, let's go and look at GBP USD. Should be looking similar to Euro USD. As soon as it decides to load, we can see an outside candle outside the previous range. Okay, so this is now coloring what I was saying and making me want to get in there more for the buy, because look, GU and EU, we know they're correlating pairs. And this, I was going to say I'm going to wipe my chart. I'm not going to wipe my chart, but when that candle opened up, that green candle here opened up, it had no wick to the downside. Okay, let me just get rid of all of this. When this green candle opened up, it had no wick to the downside. This imbalance between this wick and where the candle opened up gives us an insight, understanding that this candle would like to make a wick to the downside. It's very rarely you see a daily candle open up with no down wick. Check for yourself. Look, all of these candles have wicks either side. But when this candle opened, it opened here. Am I making sense? I feel like I need to wipe my chart to put in the lines. I don't want to have to. Am I making sense? Or am I making sense? Yeah?
Yeah, you're making sense.
Think about it. This candle, if you think, just look on this logic. Look at this logic. Wipe your brain of everything you understand and just take in this information. If I say to you that daily candles, more times out of 10, are going to have a down wick in a bullish market or an up wick in a bearish market, yeah? If I say that to you, you can go back and check. Look, you can just scroll, you can just drag back here and be like, are there any daily candles here that don't have wick to the downside? Just in my screen right now, I can see none. Yeah, this is a bearish candle, has wick to the upside. So I can see none. But if you understand that candles open at the body, the bottom of that bullish candle will open at the bottom of the body. If you understand that basic, I'm going to have to wipe my chart to show it, or maybe I can draw my screen another way. Let me draw my screen via oh, no, I'm doing too much. All right. But you know what I'm saying? Let me just draw it on here. If I draw it, everything's going to come back like a disco, all right? If we understand that these candles open here, all right? Let me change that. The candle opens here. And we understand that these daily candles like to have wicks to the downside, and we can identify this imbalance, this gap that we also understand markets like to go and tap into those gaps, at least 50% from where the candle opens, which is, that's just showing you that yellow line, which is hiding now. Yeah, that little yellow scribble I did with a highlighter that is hiding for some reason. If we know that much information, there is an opportunity, right? The opportunity is either to sell down into this 50% level, or to at least buy if we see a confirmation from that wick, because we know where the market's open. If we see our confirmations on a smaller time frame, that alone gives you a trade. That concept alone gives you a trade, because you're like, look, that candle's opened here. I know that, 90% of the time, maybe even higher, there's a down wick of a daily candle. When you drop your time frame down, let me put some lines in here. I'm going to put a line in for where the candle open, yeah? And I'm going to mark it open. I'm going to put a square in here for the imbalance. I don't want to use the word imbalance, but let's just say imbalance. And let me put the previous daily high as a target, and I'm going to mark it saying previous daily high. That alone means if I drop my time frame down, I'm going to jump straight into my 5 minute. Okay. That I can see here straight away that, remember, this from a daily perspective, this is when the day started over somewhere over here. All right, that's where you can see that line saying daily open. So it says open, that yellow line was about here on this consolidation when the day started, our day in the UK. And we can see that before markets, as in London, which is this yellow box, even opened, it made that down wick. So bearing in mind, we've got a bullish outside candle and the market's already made that down wick. It's got no reason to come down now in our London session. The energy is a bullish energy. And as we can see here, this is our entry of the market tapping in to our 15-minute imbalance. Have a look. This is another play that I gave you guys. Yeah, I told you that the markets, when they open, New York and London, there's a little play that happens 7, 8 times out of 10, to say 7.5, that these markets like to tap into the closest 15-minute imbalance when markets open. Look, market opened, tapped into the first 15-minute imbalance, and though it never gave us a very clean break of structure on a 1 minute time frame, it did give us a lovely bullish engulfing candlestick pattern on the 5 minute time frame. Yeah, and even within that energy of that pattern, it actually made a manipulation W in doing that. Yeah, which gave us some imbalance in this area here, which the market even gave us another opportunity as it tapped back in, as it went into this area here. It was accumulating, tapped back in to that little unmitigated imbalance in here, inefficiency, and we're continuing to go bullish. Okay, now I've looked at it, and that breakdown, which I didn't do this morning, you know, from the jump before the session was recording, is this energy is definitely bullish for the day. Why? Because we've had a daily outside candle. The downwick's already been made to tap in there before London even opened. So therefore, we're thinking to ourselves, that energy of possibly being able to get into the sell into that area is off the table. That ability to necessarily get in the trade right at the bottom of that wick when it starts to break structure is off the table, because it happened when we were sleeping. Yeah, it happened over here, not when we were sleeping, but it happened all the way here at 5 o'clock in the morning. Maybe if we was up and we saw the market manipulate out of this Asian session range and make some sort of structure in here. Let me see on a 1 minute time frame. Let me see if there's some sort of, it showed its hand in any way. Not on the 1 minute so much. Let's look on the 2 minute. I'm looking for an excuse of that market of giving me an entry. And there is a 3 minute entry. There is a 4 minute entry. And it's a bit reachy for a 5 minute entry. 3 minute entries are seeing straight away our market. In this area, we're looking for an excuse. And we've seen the market make a manipulation W in here. It's ugly, but it's here. Now someone's saying, oh, that's a bit reachy, isn't it, Jay? Can you see any other manipulation W's on this run coming down here? Straight away, that puts it into a bit of perspective. Is there any other manipulation W's in this entire run coming down here? Well, no. So it's no longer, it's not reachy, because now we're seeing what we're looking for in the location that we've identified, understanding that potentially could be another outside green bullish candle. And we've seen the market make a lovely manipulation W and then tap in here for an entry here. Unfortunately, that was at 5:54 in the morning. And maybe you wasn't at your charts. But that would have been a tremendous trade in here with our stop below this low if we was going to be very, very aggressive. If we wasn't going to be this aggressive, the stop would cover the whole imbalance. That's our choice as a trader. That's covering the whole daily imbalance, but it's only 10 pips. Yeah? And over all the way over here is like 3 pips. Yeah, but that would have been a tremendous trade as the market before even London opened pushed up bullishly for 1 to 7. You probably would have taken your money there and then made a retracement, tapped back in, and continued its bullish journey to the point where right now we are in space. So I think we missed that opportunity, a bit of an oversight by myself, because now I've broken it down like that. It makes perfect sense to me why this market's pushing up here, because it's got that bullish momentum from the daily. It's already made the down wick. It's captured liquidity, and at worst case scenario, that market was coming to take this liquidity here. It's gone and taken more liquidity and then tapped into an imbalance in here and previous battlefield with this wick here, which was manipulation of this accumulation over here. And we understand when the market manipulates below, it wants to distribute in the opposite direction. And that's exactly what it's done. It's done this. Have a look. Which I did say it could do both of them. Do the green and then do the red, but it's done the green. And now it's actually done the red on a 1 minute time frame. Have a look. We've just taken this liquidity now here, and we've just had a manipulation breaker structure on the 1 minute time frame. However, I don't want you to take it. I'd prefer that you wait for a 5 minute breaker structure, which definitely will eat into your risk to reward, but it gives you more confirmation. Because, or if you are going to take this here, you got to wait for a continuation. If somebody wants to be there, I can't tell you what not to do and what to do, right? But if you are going to take this, because after taking this liquidity from this level, the market's made a lovely manipulation M. Have a look at it on a 1 minute time frame, which isn't our best time frame. Remember, 1 minute time frame has to step up to 5 minute time frame, and 5 has to start to 10, and 10 has to step to 15, and 15 steps an hour. But it has shown a 1 minute break of structure, manipulation M, that I wouldn't get involved in until I see a closure below this level, i.e. an indication, correction, and continuation. I'm going to pop an alert over here. If this market decides to give me a continuation, I'm also going to, from early, measure what the distance is going to be from here to above this high, which is about 10 pips. So I automatically know what my lot size would be if this market is going to decide to start going to hell. Yeah. If this market is going to turn around and be like, yep, I'm going to start coming down here, which is going to be a very, very high risk 1 minute breaker structure trade, which I would prefer that you guys didn't take, but it's your choice, and waited for 5 minute structure to break. So on the 5 minute, we can see that we've made a little left shoulder. We've come down. Are we going to make a lovely right shoulder up here? And then are we going to make a lovely manipulation M and then allow the tap? And that would be 5 minute structure and a little bit more solid ground than 1 minute quicksand. Am I making sense? Does it make sense? And if it doesn't do that, like I said to you, there are these targets here, and then the overall energy. If the overall energy right now is, like I said to you, trying to make this big green bullish candle, it's 2 scenarios. It's either we've missed that opportunity and you're not interested in getting in here, or you're trading potential retracements of this bullish impulse is what I'm talking about. If that market has a reaction from up there, it may be a retrace. Well, it hasn't broken the structure that I said. Once it breaks there, in my opinion, this market's going to start pushing up. It hasn't broken this level as yet, which is this red candle here, but don't get it twisted. We could have a little manipulation M, retracement back down into a previous battlefield here. This previous daily high could decide it wants to come back down in here, only to later on go and take those highs. Yeah, so at the moment, the reason why I don't love GU is because of where it is in these two yellow lines, which is the range, the bullish range, kind of in the middle of a range. Yeah, it's kind of like anything is possible at the moment. Could continue just pushing up here, trying to get to the top of this range. Something like this. It's a bit strange anyway, but something like this. Or it could decide that it wants to push down because we're in the middle of a range. And as we said, you know, I'd prefer to take trades from tops of range. We are at the top of a much bigger range. We're actually past the top of a much bigger range. But in this little impulse at the moment, kind of in no man's land of these two yellow lines. And if you wanted to go there, we're even in no man's land of the smaller orange range. Even if you're taking this as a top end or this as a top end, it's still kind of in a weird place. All right, so be careful. I'm thinking that maybe this is all in perspective of what's going to be happening in the next, I did say 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock's happened in touchdown. And there wasn't that much volatility. Let's check euros, see whether or not euros did something and GU didn't. Well, euro did make that push for the liquidity. So they are aligning, but euros out of that news, well, even prior to that, all right? Even prior to that, euros was already making its way in this direction. Okay. So yeah, it's unfortunate we didn't catch the buy, to be fair. It's unfortunate we didn't catch the buy. It's an oversight by myself. Yeah. Let's go and have a look at another pair. Where's the time? Yeah, we're going to have a look at another pair. Is there any pair in particular somebody wants to look at? Is there any pair in particular somebody wants to look at?
Yeah, AU.
AU. That's fine. Let's try and make it one screen.
Well, I made a quick 5 today with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
AUD USD. How are you finding trading AUD USD?
Joe, what? It's slow, but it's consistent and it's level. It's nice.
I like that. All right. So this is AUD USD. Let's look at it on a bigger picture. Let's understand what's going on. Again, I would give AUD USD. I'm going to put it in my watch list. It's not in there. Add to watch list of my outside candles. I would give it a green mark because yesterday was an outside green candle. This candle closed outside the range of the previous candle. Therefore, once again, understanding the concept, what I said, when that candle opened, it opened at the bottom of the body of that green candle this morning. And there was a potential that the market was going to put in some sort of down wick. It did. That down wick closed the imbalance or the little gap that was in here perfectly. And depending on what time, we could have either sold into that gap or bought once that gap was closed. Let's see what would have been an opportunity. Well, it's looking extremely similar to the other pairs that we looked at. We can see that that down wick was actually put in Asian session. Therefore, no reason for it to come back down in here. And then through Asian session, we saw the market slightly push up. We saw in Frankfurt, a little bit of liquidity was taken, but it didn't run all the way into the opposite level. The market came down and sat on a little previous battlefield over here. Okay. Have a look, I'll put in the line. And then continue to push up bullishly. Let's look at it on a 50-minute time frame. We could say that the market did the similar thing again. Remember, markets have just opened here on this 15-minute time frame, and the closest bit of imbalance was sitting in here. Market's tapped into there. Let me drop my time frame down to 1 minute, see if it gave a lovely clean entry. I wouldn't say lovely and clean. Okay, as was it tapped in here. Let me look at it on a 2 minute. I wouldn't say lovely and clean. But similar to other markets, definitely the market went and tapped in there and left. Let's see on the 5 minute time frame, did it give us a lovely any engulfing candlestick patterns? Well, it did. This is an engulfing candlestick pattern. Now I want to draw your attention to something. In fact, it's not. I was going to say on the 5 minute time frame it was. It's not. This is just in the way. My little indicator is in the way. If I do this, you won't be able to see. Oh, it's not that. If I hide this, you'd see. This isn't a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern on a 5 minute time frame. It isn't. But that candle is a reversal candlestick pattern. This doji is a reversal candlestick pattern or reversal candlestick by itself. Okay. Look, I was going to say that we can see a manipulation W in here and the market tapping in. But in our line charts, it's not very clean. But this is the entry of that market, essentially changing character. Look, making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then breaking that high. The only problem is I didn't see a nice closure above here. So it isn't perfect for how I like to see it. But sometimes these markets ain't perfect, especially a market like AED USD. But that there was a potential entry tap in, and that market has gone to space, just like GU. So these markets are showing us that the United States dollar is losing or has lost some strength. Let's go and check that against the Dixie, which is the dollar index. Should be bearish. Yeah, look at it. Yeah, going to hell. Go into hell. Losing strength. That's why our AED USD is bullish, our GBP USD is bullish, our Euro USD is bullish, because the other side of the scale, that USD is losing strength. Okay, so therefore the heavier weight on the other side, the other asset, is meaning that the scale's like this and the market's going bullish. Okay, so though we haven't gotten a trade because we've been looking at these USD pairs and I think we've missed the kind of move this morning, a bit of oversight by myself, we can understand why. Right, let's go and look at something else. So similarly, let's have a look at gold. Bullish, because that USD side of the scale has lost significant strength. Now, there may be a fundamental reason for this. Yeah, that recently that the US dollar's lost so much strength. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether Trump said something wild. I don't know if it's the tariffs. You know, I don't know. But we can see across the board that the United States dollar is weak. Okay, the question is it going to continue being weak, or is there going to be an injection of strength into that market to turn all of this energy around? And gold is just in space. Yeah, gold is at all-time highs. Yeah, so your gold chain, look at it again across the table, it's gaining value. All right, let's go and have a look. It's gaining value against the US dollar anyway. Let's go and have a look. I'm going to look at something off the beaten track. Let's go and look at Bitcoin. All right, I'll look at Bitcoin. And from a technical perspective, let's have a look and see what Bitcoin is doing. We'll look at it on crypto.com. And we're going to go here. We're going to zoom out. We're going to understand what's going on. So we can see that, let me wipe my charts. We can see that Bitcoin has had a tremendous run. Yeah. And it's been pushing up bullishly. Now, do I want to recommend, or do I want to go and take out my shekels and go and buy Bitcoin right now? No, not necessarily at the most expensive it's ever been. All right, not for my time horizon of when I want to realize profits out of any type of investment. Okay, I don't want to buy at the most expensive something's ever been. That's just me personally. Yeah, I would have preferred that I was in a position to buy when this market was on any of these these yellow lines.
What price was that?
Well, the last time we saw in we see Bitcoin in COVID down here at ridiculous levels, couple 4,000, 7,000, them kind of times. Yeah, this is when everybody's portfolios went to hell.
Diminished.
In 2022, this was a great opportunity when it came down to 14K. I think this is the time when portfolios came down to hell, because 2020 was like COVID lick, and then it was all through COVID, and we saw this bull run, and everyone's like, yeah, crypto, crypto, crypto. All the lunatics bought at the highest price it's ever been, and then we saw.
You guys, can you see it clearly? Because I can't really.
Shall I zoom in? I am quite far out, so sorry. Let me zoom in. I am miles away. Is that better, or is it blurry, or?
It just looks a bit blurry, so.
Is it blurry for everybody?
Yep. I thought it was just me because I'm on my phone.
Okay, that's not good. Blurry's not good. Is it getting any better?
No.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Let's
For me, it's kind of calm. It just looks like you need to zoom in a bit.
It's all right, yeah? Is it not blurry for you? Because it might be that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's difficult for me to try and improve it if it's your personal connection. But if it is from my side, I can start trying to refresh certain things.
Yeah, like it goes in and out. It's like it's blurry, then it will like high def, then it will go a bit blurry.
All right, let me try and throw some stuff overboard. Is it any better? I'm hoping it's any better. I am trying a few things this morning. We are streaming at the same time. We're doing a lot of things. So I don't know, maybe my computer's stressed. What I will do as well is, just for now, I will do this. That may help things. You just let me know if it comes into focus a bit better. It hasn't been like that all morning. It's just that it just happened that it got more blurry?
Yeah.
Okay,
Do you hear me?
I can. You said it's just happened?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
All right, no problem. I am trying to get the settings in here better, and I will get there at some point. Only thing I could do is, give me one moment. There's no point you looking at a blurry screen. It looks crispy in here, that's the thing. Everything looks great in here. Try and restart. Any better? Yes, no, same.
I'd say it looks a bit better still.
It's a piece better, yeah.
Hopefully it's all right. I've thrown everything out overboard, so it's as light as we can get at the moment. So like I said to you, I'd prefer that I was buying on these yellow dots. I do not want to buy, up here. And at the moment, what do you think what does the market look like it's doing in Bitcoin?
Consolidating.
That's what.
Sideways.
Yeah, it looks like it's going
Sideways,
right up into
drifting
a real
action.
premium, and there's a real conversation being had right now. All right, we watched a podcast yesterday, and the guy is very, very adamant that he thinks Bitcoin is going to zero. Yeah, and that was the guy from Ilford. I can't remember his name. Supposedly, one of the world's best traders. But this market is definitely going sideways in this little range over here. So I'm not interested in getting involved in Bitcoin. Maybe selling it if it starts to go to hell. Yeah, if I see maybe we might see some. And think about the psychology of how this market takes the piss. Bitcoin's been raging. It's at 100,000 dancing around, 97 at the moment, yeah? What do you think happens for the people that are not educated in trading? They don't understand the things that you understand in regards to accumulation, manipulation, distribution. But they have got FOMO, fear of missing out, that all of their friends are getting absolutely stonker rich in cryptos and they've got no Bitcoin. And then they see this happen. They don't see it. They hear about Bitcoin doing this. What do? They hear about Bitcoin's gone on.
So they pushed the button.
They pushed the button, boy. They're like, we didn't get in before, and they've heard that crypto's going to 1 million, and they need some crypto. And what they don't understand is that this was just manipulating before distributing. And now they're saying, this crypto thing is a joke. They just didn't understand the markets. It's very, very possible this happens and you're going to see some news, hear it on Twitter. Bitcoin back at 110 or 110,000, 115,000. And then you're going to start seeing all the memes. Ha ha ha, Bitcoin to the moon. Why did you lot sell? Blah, 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 blah. A couple weeks later, we start seeing Bitcoin down at some crazy numbers. Now, I'm not trying to say it's going to go to hell, but it could definitely get down here to this, at least the bottom of the range, which is that blue range, which is about 70K. Could definitely do that easily. It might get even more carried away and try to get down to the bottom of a previous range, which is getting Bitcoin going back towards a 30K mark. Now, I don't necessarily think it's going to do that. There's other factors. There's Trump's very bullish on crypto, etc., etc., etc. But that is definitely possible that we see the market manipulate and then distribute lower. So if someone says, yeah, you should buy Bitcoin, man, you got no Bitcoin, I'll be like, yeah, maybe I'm going to wait for it to come back and sit on this previous battlefield. Is that making sense, what I've just said to somebody?
Yeah, 100.
Like, we understand how these markets go. We understand previous battlefields. We understand premium and discount. We understand that if this market is going to continue going up and up and up and up, which is not impossible, there are some traders that will buy now. But their outlook might be the case that they're not going to touch Bitcoin for the next 5 years, 10 years. So it coming back down here to 70K is like, who cares? I don't care. Yeah, maybe they've gotten into the trade like this. I'm hitting the button here, and I'll stop down here. That's if they were trading it. If they were investing it, they just don't care. They're just like, look, I'm going to put my 100K in. I don't care if it goes to 70K. Yeah, but if I was trying to get in today, I'm like, why would I want to sit around for 5 years as my money going backwards when I could have a short Bitcoin, or I could get into an asset that has more upside potential? Because look, even if Bitcoin goes all the way to 1 to 200 and you invest, not trade, invest in it now at 100K, what's your risk? What's your R to R? If Bitcoin goes to 200,000 in the next 2 years and you invest today, what's your R to R? What's your risk to reward? If Bitcoin, you buy Bitcoin at 100 today and it goes to, 200. But you've only made 100% on your money. Yeah, you've only made 100% on your money, which is good, I guess. Yeah. But it's not 1 to 5, it's not 1 to 10, it's not this 1 to 100 that people have become crypto millionaires on. And it's extremely unlikely that it's going to just fly to 200. But if it got to like 140K and you invested 100K, that's not even a 1 to 1. Whereas if there is some more bullish energy, some more upside energy, wouldn't it be better that I got into some other alternative coin that is a lot cheaper, that has a lot more upside potential to go from £1 to £10? That's a 1 to 10. Bitcoin's not going to go to 1 million in the next couple months. In the next, like, it's not unless something really dramatic happens. Look, do you know what 1 million is? 1 million's up here. It's in space. But potentially there's another smaller alternative coin, or you know, another project or something like that that is linked to Bitcoin that might have the potential to do a 1 to 10. Go from a fraction of $1 to $1, a 1 to 100. I'm telling you. All right. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I really want to check the stream to see how it recorded, because I got a feeling that it recorded with absolutely no sound. Yeah. But yeah. Any
I'm
questions?
here, bro. I don't think there's any questions. It's just, you know, got an outlook for today. Just got to see what plays out, innit?
Yeah, so the outlook for today, going back to what we said about what we're looking at, is unfortunately, I think we missed a great buy opportunity. At least half
in
of
GU.
the move.
My alarm went off as well.
Say again?
So my alarm went off on GU as well.
But just now?
Yeah, about 15 minutes ago. About 10 minutes ago, 10, 15 minutes ago.
10,
I had it set from yesterday.
All right. Should have told me 15 minutes ago. But anyway, like, we've seen GU being very, very bullish. We saw some great opportunities for the entry in regards to our playbook that I gave you. If the market's tapping into 15-minute imbalances, in regards to it being an outside green candle, yeah, understanding that maybe we're going to get another daily outside green candle. In regards to it already made the down wick. So if we can see from price action, it's moving bullishly. There's no need to go down. It's already made the down wick that closed up 50% of the imbalance. And since then, I'm sad to say that potentially that opportunity for the buy, which was today, it was here, being able to get in here, or to being able to get in before markets even opened here, but let's just say here, as the market tapped back in to the first 15-minute imbalance, and then made a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern here, and then continue to push up. And then we saw the market consolidate and then manipulate below. We understand when it manipulates below, the market likes to distribute in the opposite direction. And we should have really been on that side of it. Now, at the moment, how do we take advantage of what's going on right now? Is the question of, is there a possibility for us to get into some sort of retracement trade? Yeah, as this market takes liquidity, it's just taking liquidity from New York session high over here. There's another New York session high. What is that swing high over here above these wicks? It's just taken right now. We've got previous New York over here, previous London over here, so I don't have to come back and do it. So right now, we could ask ourselves a question that there are some smaller opportunities. I can get rid of this one. This has already been taken, it's liquidity. Let's go for this one here, and I'm going to mark it liquidity taken so we can actually see where we currently are. On a smaller time frame, are we getting some sort of break of structure enough for us to get involved in, which is not 1 minute? All right. if you are going to look on a 1 minute time frame, you must be taking ICC, indication, correction, and continuation, and then you're still high risk. Do not be taking a trade, seeing a break of structure, manipulation M on a 1 minute time frame on the tap-in. Yeah, you're going to set yourself up for losses. Yeah. On a 2 minute time frame, you're getting a nice manipulation M at the moment. You know, I'd like to see some strength and speed, the market displacing from here. Okay. But really, 5 minute time structure is your friend. Am I making sense? Meaning that ultimately you want to see a manipulation M on a 5 minute time frame. You want to see indication, correction, continuation on a 5 minute time frame, especially when you're going against the tide. Tide is bullish. Yeah, I'm just saying that right now we're in a point of interest at this level of liquidity, but there's also a point of interest above here. And there's also the concept that maybe this market is retracing all the way up to 50% off, which we're probably close to now. We're not close to. But potentially this whole impulse, let's go to candles, from here to here, there's the idea that the market could be making a retracement of that entire impulse up until around this level. I am a bit annoyed at myself that I didn't organize myself, but I was too busy worrying about the sound for us to all be in the buy this morning, because it was very, very clear to me. And I could have given that instruction, but it is what it is. Okay. So right now, the opportunity is this market pushing all the way back in here? Or does this market not want to break this little structural level? Which, look, if I put in my dots again, you know, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. This is still a lower high at the moment. You know, I don't like the fact that the market's come up all the way into here and wicked above it. I'll tell you that much. I don't. So even if I got into here for the sell, I'd be taking my targets, or I'd be very, very I'll be making sure that I'm protecting my position. Yeah, we are getting some little breaker structure. Maybe we're seeing a little bit more displacement now. All right, on a 3 minute time frame, was it? Yeah, maybe we are getting a bit more displacement. And like I said, if you do take this trade, you got to be understanding that there are going to be landmines, previous battlefields here. And I would prefer that nobody takes a trade until we get 5 minute breaks of structure. I think that's about it for this morning. Anything anybody wants to say about anything? News, this, that, the session. I'm hoping you lot are enjoying the production, but when I'm hearing that it's blurry or this, that, and other, I am going to work on it. As you've been seeing, I've been trying to work on it. This morning we had a countdown timer. Come on. We had our little countdown happening here. Look, it's still going. Look. We had a countdown timer over here.
I'm thankful to see another things on what I want to
be. The countdown, yeah, come on.
But I'm thankful.
That was tidy. That was tidy.
Another day to live, another chance to contribute, another chance to make a difference in life.
Keep pushing through things that suck. This is difficult.
See that? Man can control all the sound. Come on. But I'm saying, like, production value up. I was definitely mentioned about this as a reason why. Using countdown time as well, etc. But yeah, I hope you guys appreciate the effort. We're gonna
work in progress. Definitely.
We're gonna make it flawless at some point. I don't know whether I'm gonna need a better machine or a separate machine or whatever it may be, but we're gonna make it flawless. I actually think it's got to do majority with my internet connection. I think any type of blur is to do with my internet connection. And there is ways I can boost that. So we shall see. But guys, what I'm going to say to yourself is this. I'm going to put on our live floor. We can watch something that's going to expand the brain matter, teach us something new. We did watch some podcasts the other day, which was all right. It was good because the guy's from Ilford, and I've got a particular interest because he's from East London and he's going to be a great trader. It's a bit boring, I thought. It kind of dragged on a bit. Let me try and put something on that might be off the topic, it might not be trading related, but it might be very interesting. Guys, did you see my boy? That's what we're going to talk about. Did you see my boy? His name, I can't remember his name. It's something like Motombo or something like that. He's the South African inventor that we watched some stuff on previously back in the day, who has created machines, as in a machine that powers a whole city or village, as well as a car, as well as a motorbike, as well as a helicopter that draws energy out of the atmosphere, out of the radio waves in the atmosphere. He said he's had no formal education of how to do this. He said God blessed him a long time ago with the knowledge. Let me try and get it. I even emailed, not emailed, I even Skyped the guy. I tried to reach out to him because they tried to poison him a few times. But I seen that the government have got hold of him and kept him safe. Yeah. And now they've got their own car coming out of, is it South Africa or Zimbabwe? Can't remember, one of them. With his company name, like as a proper whip now, that runs on energy that it draws out the system, the radio waves in the air. Now, if this is sounding strange to you, like science fiction, understand this is what Tesla, if you're going into, conspiracy theories, this is what the real Tesla, not the other homie, the kind of iRobot, not that one. Supposedly, these were the documents and inventions that were stolen and hidden around the suspicious death of Tesla. Okay, I'm just trying to, we're going to watch, make sure what's the name of it? South African. I put it up on my Instagram the other day and I said, look, thank God they protected this guy. Oh, I found it. I found a little clip, 5 minutes, and I've watched all of these clips historically. But one thing I will have noticed is this, is that on Instagram, they was just talking about the car that he invented and the bike. I noticed they didn't talk about the actual energy system that powers villages. Now, the reason why, obviously, this guy is definitely on the hit, I don't want to say it out loud, but it's like, they got to protect this guy. Because think about how many industries he's going to step on the feet of if you can create a machine that sits in your village and gives everybody electricity. I mean, if I was the electricity company, I wouldn't be too happy. I wouldn't be too happy about that at all. So let's put on this over here, which should be my live after session. And let me stop the stream as it goes, because we are streaming also to YouTube. So I'm going to be able to check that a bit later. Thank you, Darren, for reminding me. I'm going to have to make it a little bit smoother. I'm going to make it automated.